Good morning and welcome back to Withrow Urban Homestead. Come join me for morning garden chores. Now the temperatures are back in the 90s and it's actually going to get up to 100 degrees today, so a few young fall plants need to be watered. The green beans that we direct sowed last week have all germinated. And the strawberries that we recently moved over, they're all doing good. But I do need to keep watering them until the roots get established. I need to make sure that the fall carrots we recently thinned don't dry out. But the beets next door are really well established and they don't need to be watered. This moringa, I need to harvest it. The last few weeks when nighttime temperatures have been in the 50s, it has not been happy and it has had lots of yellow leaves. But now that we're back in the 90s, I need to take advantage of that and harvest it. But I'm going to make that into a separate video. Now, the Napa cabbage seeds we just direct sowed, that needs to be watered. A few have recently germinated. But I want to open the tunnel and check the other spots because I think I might need to re-sow some seeds. I suspect that the seeds got washed underneath the cardboard. I'm going to add more soil and sow again. That's the reason I really like to start my seeds indoors and transplant plants. Because I laid down new cardboard in the fall and then put down mulch, putting plants through the cardboard into the soil works best for me. I prefer to use plants, but the Napa cabbage, that was a last-minute decision, so I went ahead and direct sowed. But the green beans have big seeds, and I haven't laid cardboard down there yet, so that's the big difference in their germination. And these beets, they're also well established and don't need to be watered. But the red cabbage, because it's going to be 100 degrees today, we're going to water it. But when it gets back in the 80s with cool nights, it won't need to be watered. Now these I did start indoors because as a head cabbage, there's not enough time to direct sow. I think they're 6 weeks or 2 months old. I can't remember exactly. Now this lettuce is going to seed And the basil, the stevia, and the raspberries, and more lettuce on the other side, all of these, they don't need to be watered, because I've already laid down cardboard and mulch in this area. Also, the zinnias and the flower ring, they don't need water either. Did you see those snapdragons starting to bloom? That's because we had a few weeks of overnight cool weather. A couple of days in the 90s won't hurt them. The fall flowers, they were all watered yesterday, so they're doing fine. I'm going to wait till it cools off again next week, and then we'll start transplanting these. And the strawberries that I put into pots that I dug up are doing well. Now, if you remember, these were the strawberries that didn't have any roots. So I thought, if I put them in water, will they grow roots? And yes, they have. So now I need to put them into pots so I can give them out to my community for free. Every morning, I turn these green stalks a quarter turn, and I water them. I'm using city water now because right now my arthritis is acting up and I don't want to haul water over here. Now I've just pulled out all of the summer flowers to get ready to transplant the fall flowers. These strawberries need some help. But the peppers, the marigolds, and the tomatoes, I don't need to water. And these porch pots, they're still moist. Now we need to harvest. And we're going to start with the raspberries before the birds snatch them up. These have just started to ripen. And I picked some not fully ripe. I don't mind them a little bit tart. But later there's going to be plenty, enough for the birds and for us. Now we're going to check the front for strawberries. I think I saw one or two. Not quite ready. Soon I'm going to move these strawberries over so I can net them with a tunnel, just like I did in the back. I want to protect them from the birds. But we're going to leave the hot peppers because I want to make a video of stringing up hot peppers. So I want lots to be ready at the same time. But we are going to see if there's any tomatoes that are blushing. If I leave them to fully ripen, squirrels will steal them. Now, this is my first time growing this variety, Ace 55 bush tomatoes, and I'm really not that impressed. And lots of cracks. Now, I don't take care of my tomatoes. I take a neglectful approach. And I've learned a smaller tomato gets ready faster and it does better. I just neglect my tomatoes because I'm allergic to them and I don't eat them, and Dale doesn't like them fresh. He only eats them on pizza. And organic tomato sauce and organic tomato paste is easy to buy, so I grow these more for fun. Next year we're going to try a different variety. Last, I want to deadhead some of the flowers. Now the sunflowers, we only have 2 left. What was left of Hurricane Debbie knocked down the other ones, so I've already pulled out those plants. These we're going to leave for the squirrels. And we're not going to deadhead the porch pot flowers because soon I'm going to be pulling these up and replacing them with fall flowers. But I do want to deadhead the marigolds. Dale wants to enter some of these in the county fair. He hopes to win a prize. That's coming up next month. We've already harvested plenty of basil, so we're going to let it flower and go to seed. The bees are going to love that. The stevia, we're going to wait. It's at its sweetest during cool weather. But let's go harvest some okra. This year the okra has done fabulous. Look how tall it is. Now, the several weeks of cool weather really slowed it down, but this week in the 90s, it's loving. This is probably its last hurrah. I'm going to leave this one to go to seed because I'm going to run out of time with the weather getting cool. Now the sweet peppers are done, and what was left we've hung in the garage to change from green to red. But remember this oddball? It's double the size of the other plants and just now setting fruit, and some of that fruit is purple. I suspect from the cold weather. This should be a sweet red pepper because it was also grown from my own saved seed. But we'll see what happens with it. And the sunflowers, the blossoms are getting tinier and tinier, but the goldfinch are still enjoying them. They're around right now, but they're so shy. When I try to sneak up and film them, they just dart off. And most of these peppers have already turned red. And if you see any that were like those wrinkled ones, go ahead and harvest them because they won't last. Last, we want to check the fall flowers to see if we need to remove any old blossoms. And we need to pull some of our strawberry runners. And they all look good. Now, I want the strawberry plants to focus on getting bigger, not put their energy into feeding these baby plants. I have rooted the runners before, but right now I've got plenty of strawberry plants. I probably have over 50 over there. Thank you for visiting Withrow Urban Homestead. See you later. Bye-bye.